Hey guys, it's Dan from Coach Thomas Tech again. Back for another drive home from the golf course. I'm actually driving home today because I went to work at 6 o'clock this morning. Beautiful sunrise this morning, so that was nice. But what I got to thinking about today was something I learned and I heard from my daughter's swim coach. Gosh, well, she's 28 now, so 14 years ago, something like that. And we were at swim practice. I was sitting on the deck talking to him because I enjoyed talking with him, and it was always a good conversation because I learned something. I'm selfish in that regard because I always like to talk to people because I always get to learn something from them. Anyways, one of the things he said, he goes, and he asked me straight up, he goes, "Why do kids come to swim practice?" And, the obvious answer to that question is because they love to swim. And there's some truth in that, right? They love the sport. I mean, why else would you put your face in the water and stare at a line at the bottom of the pool for 2 hours? And if you've ever tried competitive swimming or swimming laps, it's not the most funnest thing you've ever done. But he goes, they don't come because they love the sport and they want, some of them do, but they come because that's where their friends are. That's who they get to hang out with. And that got me thinking about school. And one of the things I try to tell as many teachers as I meet is this. I said, and I ask them, I go, why do kids come to school? And their obvious answer to that question is because they have to, which is true. They have to come to school. But they come to school, for the majority of the kids, the same reason my daughter went to swim practice. Because that's where their friends are. They don't come to school, and this is the key point I'm trying to get to right now. They don't come to school to watch us work as teachers. It's hard to believe, and because I know I've spent time, you've spent time on a Sunday night putting together this amazing lesson. You're getting observed, maybe, whatever it is. You feel like you got to get up in front of the class and tell them how smart you are. Which, time and a place for that. But the kids don't come to school to watch you do your job. The kids come to school so that they can hang out with their friends, so that they can try some things. For some kids, it might be the only place they get a meal. For some kids, it might be the only place they get a hug, right? But they come to school for the social part, for maybe the athletics part. Maybe it's music or art. But there's some reason they come to school beyond learning and beyond the fact that they have to. So what I'm asking you guys to do, and what I think is super important, is to greet that kid when they come in. And I know we've been told stand at your door, greet every kid that comes in because that's a mandate or whatever it is at your school. You know what? Greet that kid and say hi to that kid and ask them about their sporting event, their band concert, their cheer competition, their robotics thing, whatever it is that they're into, anime, Pokemon, Minecraft, whatever it is. Ask them about it, even if you truly don't care about what that thing is. Because that's going to get them excited. And that's going to get them engaged. And you got to have those conversations with the kids. Because at some point, you're going to need that kid to do something they don't necessarily want to do. And you got to have that rapport so that you know that if little Susie is acting up in class, you know it's because maybe grandma's sick. Not just Susie's acting up because Susie's acting up, right? Because you've made that connection with her. You've made that interaction, the rapport with them. So think about that when you're making your lesson plans and when you're doing your classroom management, Because those are the things, administrators, that don't necessarily show up on the observation checklist. But those are key elements, right? Also hold them accountable, but you can because you know them, because you've talked to them. They don't come to watch us work. And if you want to find out more, talk more about things like this, head over to CoachThomasTech.com, work in progress. Listen to my podcast, reach out to me, looking for coaches, CTE teachers, and art and theater people to come on my show. We want to talk to you guys, manufacturers, things like that. All right, till next time, we'll see ya.